I close with this true story. God taught me a huge lesson about proclaiming to be a servant and actually being a servant. Years ago, I was in Bible school and had the privilege of traveling with the head evangelist there at the Bible college. And so every weekend, we were out flying somewhere on one of the private planes to go preach somewhere and do a conference somewhere. And he was just a mighty, mighty man of God, and still is today. And everybody wanted this guy to come minister at their function, at their conference, at their church. And so me and a friend of mine were his personal assistants. We were servants. We served him. Anything he needed, we were there to serve. And a lot of times in serving him, we got treated pretty good. How many like that? Come on. But if you're not careful, that'll go to your head, and you'll begin to expect it all the time. And so I remember years ago, we were leaving Texas because they invited him to come to Colorado Springs, Colorado, to come minister at a conference. And we were leaving Texas. We were loading up the plane. And Texas is hot, And so we were dressed for the weather we were in. We all always like to kind of dress alike when we travel somewhere. So we had on black pants and we had on little white polo shirts. And we got, me and my friend there, we were serving. We were loaded up the plane, got ready. And when we flew to Colorado, we landed in the middle of the night. And I knew something had changed, because when I left Texas, I was sweating. I got to Colorado. The guys that came up to the plane after we landed on the runway, they had these huge full body suits, and they kind of walked like this up to the plane. You couldn't even see their faces because they were covered. I'm like, okay, something's changed out there. And so when they opened up the door, the cold air rushed into the plane, and we were freezing immediately. And so the people that were picking us up at the airport, they brought 2 cars with them. And the first car was for the evangelist and his wife. So as good servants, amen, with a smile on our face in 0-degree weather, chattering, we're ushering him off the plane, him and his wife. We put them in the first car, and they take off to a nice, warm hotel. Me and my friend, we were there. We had to unload the entire plane, and because we were servants, and we were serving the Most High God, and we were serving the man of God. And so we unloaded the plane. We put all the luggage into the car. They took us in that second car to the hotel, and when we parked in front of the hotel, we had to unload our own car. So we were unloading the luggage from the car, and we were running in real quick because it was cold outside to the hotel at the front desk. And we put our luggage there. We run back, grab some more luggage. I mean, them evangelists, they travel and they pack a lot of luggage. So we were loading and unloading, and all of a sudden, in the midst of one of my trips, from the car to the hotel, back out to the car, another car pulled up. And this was a guy, well-dressed, looked like he had on a nice suit. His wife got out, well-dressed. He walked right by me, threw his car, and said, "Hey, get my luggage." The mind became the battlefield. And I'm not talking about the mind of Christ right now. And I'm holding these keys, and I'm thinking, okay, and I'm just going to be real honest this morning, because, I had the keys in my hand, and this was a Anglo-Saxon Caucasian. I'm an Afro-American. Let me break it down. He was white, I'm black. I'm thinking, where's Al Sharpton right now? Somebody get Jesse Jackson on the phone. I'm about to sue somebody up in this place for racial discrimination. I'm pretty mad right now. I took off the apron, baby. This is not about serving you right now. And my attitude, I took the apron off, and I'm thinking, you know what? I looked at my friend who had nothing to do with it. He was like, I'm out. But I'm thinking, you know what? I could take this car and go sell it down the street right now. I could take it down, put a sign on it, $100 cash, no questions asked. Or I thought, I could take it for a joyride and use all his gas and put it back in the parking lot empty. I could take it out and wreck it. I could do anything I wanted to with this car. All of a sudden, I switched from a servant's mentality to a me. It's about me. My feelings are hurt right now. I'm mad. I'm looking for Al Sharpton. I'm ready to be on the Today Show. Well, Matt, I was there just minding my own business, and all of a sudden this guy just comes up. Matt, I don't know what's wrong with people. I don't know what's wrong with him. Can't we all just get along, man? So I threw the servant's towel down, and I stepped out of the mind of Christ. But I know God has a way of getting a hold of you. And God began to talk to me and said, wait a minute. You call yourself a servant of the Most High God. I never will forget a quote by Charles Martin. He said, you're going to know whether or not you're a servant by the way you respond when somebody treats you like one. You need to write that down. I think I need to say it one more time. That's good preaching, Pastor Adonis. Charles Martin said, you're going to know whether or not you're a servant by the way you respond when somebody treats you like one. See, I was going around saying I was a servant, but then when somebody treated me like one, it brought a brand new perspective. And when God got a hold of me, how many know I had to pick back up the servant's towel? Come on, I had to kick me out of me. I had to put it back on. I couldn't serve angry. I couldn't serve mad. So when God got a hold of me right then and there, this is what I did. The keys in my hand, I looked back and I said, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And I ran back and I got the luggage. And I had to put a smile. I mean, sometimes you got to fake it till you make it. And then you got to go from fake to faith in it. Yes, 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 sir, right here. And I took his luggage inside, and I put it right by the booth there, and I went back and I got the other luggage, and I'll be right with you, sir. I'm coming. How you doing? Good to see you and your wife. I don't know who you are, but I'm serving you. And put his luggage there right by the front desk there, and I said, sir, it's been a privilege, and I'm so glad you guys are here at our hotel, because he's thinking that I'm part of the hotel staff because we are dressed just alike. I said, I'm so glad to have you here in our hotels or anything else. We can get you the bathrooms right down the hall. Have a happy stay with us. Is there anything else I can do for you? No, young man, that'll be all. And so I did what you would have done as well. I stuck my hand out. Oh, you would have done the same thing. I stuck my hand out, and he slapped a $20 bill in my hand. I put it in my pocket. God bless you, sir. We'll see you when you get ready to go. And I took off and went and got our luggage. We went up to our room. Well, just so happened the conference that we were invited to speak at, the meeting was inside the hotel. And so as we get ready the next morning and we're going into the conference room in this hotel, I'm dressed different. I got on a suit, and the evangelist has on a suit. My friend, who's also an assistant, he has on a suit. We're walking in, and the evangelist that I'm with is the guest speaker. So they usher us all the way to the very front, and we sit on the front row. Well, the guy that thought I worked at the hotel, he was also a preacher that had been invited to the conference, and he was sitting on the front row about 10 rows down from us. And when I walked around the corner, he looked at me, and I could tell he was like, oh, man, I really messed up. And so I looked at him. I said, it's all right, man. I went in my pocket, and I said, but I'm keeping the $20. It's mine, baby. And I put it back up and put it in my pocket.